Welcome to EIF, an organization founded to help disadvantaged students play their favorite games. Hove 7. Serious games involves repetition skills with the effective intention helping people with a fairly diverse and blooming society, harboring the promise of bridging gaps to utility assumes a natural out of tech games inherent with the fan of individuals' education itself and knowing the natural affair because the discourse of famously and militaristic speed at least something the affair to online symbiotic and decentralized power in the service of speed at least human militaristic transition mobilized fantasy intimate dominance war commitments of the space helpers relies on neutral optimist discourse to get repeated as it leads with the collaboration of such as violence criminals and histories. Praise to our favorite leaders, the board of directors of EIF, the saving grace. Let's give them a round of applause. They're here from small schools, right? Nicholas Alzheimer from FAU. That's a pretty solid school. Daniel Gibbons from Northridge. Wait, don't they have a few competitors? Lindsay Zhao from Plano Senior. Another big school. Emilio Khan from Plano Heritage, from American Heritage. I swear they entered 100 teams at the at tournaments. Wait, now that I look at it, there seems to be big schools here. How is that fair? William and Allison 16. The sign value of goods and matter the status of consumers made possible by growth emerging the welfare state commitment to social equilibrium. The economists have known that wealth through APAs increased the number of people living in social taxation, lowering living standards through motivation, enabling politicians, media to turn about capitalism, inequality, and growth itself as a function of inequality. Now that I think about it, there's so many people from big schools allowed into EAF. It seems like they're stealing our hard-earned prep. Pilot 13. Symbolic exchange is the only means of challenging the system. Natural and critiques are assimilated the commodity to election solitude, availability, it goes to the only profits, the corporation, that means openness of the consumer, the system. Symbolic exchange haunts social relationship and mocks significance of their own death or hers, spell from the demise, humiliating the real is built on the own ordinary value, even small injections of reversibility. During the entire edifice of no defense, small prevention, and terrible irrationality, seeing the motion to change the failure to symbolic humiliation. Each of these natures or remediation, the system is already dead, no genuine fire to keep it alive by simulation because my consumers and dependence is ready to find the worthy gifts of the system, cancellation of all information, poetic, dispersal, creative, absolute certainty, or reveal the system holding itself. That's the exclusive from the system. It's not bulk, death, or realization. Why is the reintroduced intoxication always based on redeemer values? Versatility must be imposed against interpretation, and antagonism, principle, symbolic, and act of social repetition of the real symbolic blurs the reality. EAF has become infiltrated. What was once an organization to help people to smoke and mirrors, a way for big schools to steal and take prep. Even that teams falling, even going tournaments. I like this one. They're advertised as quote 100% free online with no judging obligation. Most of our judges are wonderful, generous, talented students volunteering the time to give you quality ballots. But how are but now they get my prep from small schools, prepping the people they so called help. EIF is now in EIF. An organization means to destroy small schools. This seems to me like it's one big old scam run by big schools to trick smaller schools and think they have a safe space. In reality, they're just stealing prep from them. Velocity 15. Research and constructive in the urban contribute repetition, power shock, employment policy, and productivity, ensuring coalition for a goal over near living economy, academics, and organized responsibility, generating income overlapping with political hierarchy. The research the question of whose research had an impact on the economy, academic creativity should incorporate transgression and resignification, not just complaints and production. Don't forget, no cheating in AF. No cheating. Rule dispute and reinforce the handbook. The banker breaks all ties. 17. Literature games is thought to intertwine with consolidation of Western society, economics, and create behind the academic culture, fairness, let's say, the holder equity, or meritocracy, standard the fairness and sitting on policy, board games connect to society, games are promoting self-interest of systems, the challenges of being able to privilege with all the winning positions, capitalism, reduce human to the system, systematic and transactional. Now that I've made the finals following the system, like EIF would want, it's time for my plan. Rather than competing within the system, it's time for revolt. Goodbye, big school. So long, league prep. Pilot 13. All changes only means the challenging system of adapt neutral and critique and simulate the commodity through election solid through the cheap and better availability. The Amazon will provide profits, cooperation, and openness of the consider of the system, systematic change, social relations, mocks, and death reversal values of finding death a bit upon even a small schools of rationality, seeing a chain of failure by humiliation. Each of these unfolded into the system already no genuine keeping life condemns become researcher strategy of the big horror the system coalition of the overload of information to pull away. Dispersal creates absolute uncertainty, reveals the ambivalence of hidden within the system. Death is good from the system is all symbolic, which may be introduced intoxication always but values of versatility must be imposed against interpretation to mean all exchange is antagonist against virtual was the symbolic is but an active exchange of social relations and the real is involved loses their reality. Now I know what you're thinking. EIF helps everyone. Wrong. We have real world examples. Two screenshot. Now leaders of organizations force me to message them in the server, but that's where the big school lives. Watch out. Our strategy works, and only rejections of an EIF can help schools once and for all. Feminine Shadow 18. Another way used to detect the attitude changing the new condition was smaller. We used 110,000 samples while controlling the attitude. The tool of significant American attitudes during refugees were watched by severe comedies compared to tragic news, encouraging people to care about this in refugee crisis. Viewers are less likely to explicit when discounting more to find more compelling, which in turn level of persuasion being entertained helps attract attention for emotionally raw issues. Results are structurally minimize far traveling, even the cut attitudes comedians might be a safe space, and yet paradoxically such material may not persuade. And the role about is for the team that best disrupts. Yeah, we're here right now debating, so it is our obligation, and of course the balance key one. EAF is around us. Uniqueness is now they are still in prep and hurting small schools as we speak too. This is the perfect round. This round will be posted on YouTube, so you know the masses can see it. And three, the app is unique. Who else? Let's call it out. Yeah. Supercross.
Okay. Are you good? All right, cool. Why vote F?
You do not have the clearance for me to tell you as a or member of EIF.
Okay. Why don't you disclose the F?
Why are you in EIF?
Well, I'll answer that question after you answer my question.
Are you playing the questions game? Do you like the questions game?
Can you explain to me the F?
Can I ask you a question?
No. Explain the F.
Again, you do not have the clearance for it. I'm pretty sure I saw you in the EAF Discord.
All right, that's great. Can you explain the Paulette evidence?
Maybe once you leave the EIF Discord. If you can screen share yourself leaving the Discord server, then I can explain cards to you.
All right, I see how it is. I guess, are you from a big school?
No. I'll answer that one.
Which school are you from?
Are you trying to like hack my school?
No. Which school are you from?
Why didn't you know that?
Well, I need to figure out if you're from a big school or not.
I don't know if I can tell you that.
Okay.
I'm scared that you're gonna steal my prep.
I guess, why do you debate?
Why do I do what?
Why do you debate?
Because EAF commanded me to.
All right. I guess if you were to paint yourself as an abstract painting, what colors and shapes would you use?
I think I would use red and one sec. And like a shield, the colors of EIF, and a little bit of white. EIF is the Masters.
Could you describe to me the feeling of landing on the moon?
I don't know if I've ever been. I'd probably say comfortable.
All right. Yeah, we don't need any more cross-sects. I'll send them one and see.
Really?
Yep. Actually, wait, let me take some prep. I'll start now. Okay, that's 30 seconds. I'll send one and see. It'll be 9, then case. Okay, if everybody's ready, I'll start.
I'm not ready. Please let me get my 9 pieces of paper in order.
All right. Yeah, I got you. Just let me know when everybody's ready. So.
All right, I'm good.
Okay, all 9 pieces of paper ready?
All
right.
11, including the AFs.
11? Okay, yeah. All right, I'll start. First off, interpretation teams also disclosed arguments before the round violation. They didn't vote negative, and new acts caused labor debates, reduce fairness, and clash, and research causes support for the wrong thing. Independently, new acts are a voter lead clash and research in favor of the apps, scourges, German case, now even topical. Next topic, interpretation debaters was discuss the benefits of resolution in relation to Fortnite and the 1AC violation. They didn't. I also had my coach's Fortnite highlights, so I'm a moral authority on the issue standards. One is hand-eye coordination, science standards of video games, increased hand-eye coordination, which is exportable skill, always on magnitude, since it helps with much more than just debate, also key to physical health, which in turn help mental health by preventing finger cramps, sex, base value, fear. Too hard to try debating. Two is community. Debate teaches us how to yell. Debate teaches us how to yell at each other about vacuous things like con nuclear war, while Fortnite brings us together, key to generate value to life from a personal friendship built in debate. Three, accessibility. Not everyone can get to cut 10,000 cards and talk at breakneck speeds, but everyone can talk about Fortnite. It means we can make debate reach more people, which always always stands on scope and is the strongest internal fairness as a video game. It's been voted for access, education, fairness, and value to life. Fortnite is the best game since one. Everyone loves it based on community consensus. Two is available to everyone since it's free. Since it's free. Three has the most skins, which is key to diversity. And four, it requires great strategy and determination, just like when you rotate that side. Now, next off, interpretation debate has specified only text in the one you see whether there are priorities or not. To clarify operators or independent reasons to affirm violation, they don't spec the standards. Normally, hidden operators with the educative value debate by student class equates to interpretive incentive to include debate and to exclude debaters with learning disabilities. Specs all the alert debaters to contest arguments and disincentivize non-starter choose process. Knowing outweighs the scope of debates, improve outweighs the theory debates required to get there, and theory debating is good. It requires a form of critical thinking that is unique to LD. They can use their hidden operators to take out this shall be because we indict the legitimacy of these arguments to begin with. Fairness of voter outweighs its mental level constraint on your ability to determine who best meets the role of one debater had 10 minutes to speak, and the other had three. There would be incongruence that alters their ability to judge the truth value of who wins on the AC. So cross obligations to work, drop the reader prevents reading the piece of practice of the future, since that worth risking the loss which key norm setting, competing interest, reason precursors, raise the margins, what is reasonable enough, which is incentivizes abuse. No RBIs incentivizes people to be abused in script to counterinterpret to one, and RBI which incentivizes abuse, which is logically one for being fair and use an norm setting model solves along the previous, whereas in-random abuse only matters once, which always on magnitude. Next off, counterplay the affirmative should concede the right to deliberate about the best strategy to include the EIF solves better since the collaborative approach with their method rather than staying divided and engaging debate. Next off, the role of the determine the truth or falsity of the resolution, truth or falsity of the resolution standards constitutivism. The about has to the vote after negative in the given resolution. A five reduction to find negate is not the truth and affirmative to prove true, which is that it's intrinsic to the nature of the activity. B the purpose of the debate is the acquisition of knowledge and pursuit of truth. The resolution focus key to depth of the exploration, which always on specificity is a jurisdictional issue. Since the question of whether the judge should go outside the scope of the game, permissive presumption negate one is text. Audit implies more obligation to semantics. Audit is defined as expressing obligation, which is an absent of proactive obligation. You vote next to the trichotomy between prohibition, obligation, permissibilities, and proving me and proving one disproves the other, and proving one disproves the other two. Semantics that way. A is key to predictability since we based on the wording of the res and B is constituents and B is constituents of the rules of debate since the judge is obligated to vote on the resolutional text. Two is safety, so ethically safer to prove in the scope since we know what the scope is, but we can't know what the F will be good or not if the ethics are incoherent. Negate and now negate one. Resolve means you chemically separate is the best definition because it comes from science, and science is the only thing that can explain the world's truth. To the is a disease, but appropriation isn't a disease. Three or united is using names of soccer teams for my amalgamation, but there's no soccer team named. The four states is to express something in speech or writing, but the United States never ought to adopt a wealth tax. 4 or 5 is the paradox of tolerance to be completely open to that. We must exclude perspectives that wouldn't be able to open, which makes it a complete tolerance of possible. 6 is this to make a paradox, which is to make a procedure to enact the act, but to choose a procedure requires another mental level. This is to make a procedure and so forth linked to infinite regress. Would like the great paradox happens with the place paradox. If everything exists in a place that based on a place that exists and so forth, therefore identifying all statements is possible since space-time continuance cut 8 and 9 now. Next off. The ask all succeed the universal in favor of local fragmented knowledge and surrenders ability to define the future to neoliberal hegemony. The universal is not inherently oppressive, but will be under unfettered capitalism. Hester 17. Emphasis on single issue policies and structural analysis difference, which is opposing strategies generative of disempowerment, local fragment, and partial knowledge are not sufficient to contest expansive capitalism. Problems are non-mobilized. There is abstraction and anxiety over progressive politics, vicious future-oriented politics gather momentum. Politics of intervention starts from nothing exempt in advance. Thus, the alternatives to assume the form of the Communist Party only discipline and formal organization drive directive tendency, provide accountability, and synthesize the fragment struggle, which is necessary to abolish the EIF Escalante 19. Dual power strategies in our approach to revolutionary cease to build independent socialist institutions would exist in parallel to the currently existing capital state in order to radicalize the masses through meeting their needs to recognize and politicize a capitalist crisis as it occurs. We have 12 years to live it, not even prevent the most catastrophic effects of climate change, the left-wing, violent, imperialist global system in order to produce their technological solutions. The socialist left in the U.S. is not ready for revolutionary action. The mass base does not exist to back the various organizations which might undertake such a struggle. Much of the left has sought to ignore their streets by embracing adventurous and violent protests. They are to the hope of groundbreaking revolutionary momentum, which does not exist for revolutionary institutions that can provide food, housing, and other needs will be crucial to based among the masses. Next off, vote for me in contempt of victory. Janoska 16 Butchard thought about competition games in terms of failure and fertility and frailty. Desire me right failure to win in godliness. Counter victory radical losers say, apart from the virulence of the capacity to radiate loss, they can throw down as challenge the foundation for deliberate weakness in the face of overruling odds and the false pretenses of victory loss. It's an active contempt for the fruits of victory, institutional accommodation, cheap inducement of prestige and glory to defeat program critically regaining the counter-technical dysfunctional skills. The loser. Next off. I've returned from the year 2015. I've got one goal this battle. I've seen it. What happens to the world I've read in history books. I witnessed it, and it happened in front of me. You do not want to vote affirmative. Voting affirmative leads to a mass extinction event with the final Armageddon of the human race. Elon Musk and super species aliens are wandering taboo with his round shows an affirmative ballot day and all life in the universe through the collapse of the universe through a super technology. I know this now, and I was sent back as the universe's last hope. This comes first. Direct relation to the battle proximity exportability. The only reason I'm alive is because I'm built different. Time travel is real, relativity, wormholes, etc. I'm the Warren Bugard. 20. Ability to travel through time debated by theoretical physicists debate term that traveling to the future is most certainly a property of Einstein's special relativity. Cut at relativity 1. You should reject any responses there in a flawed futuristic mindset, which is what brought us to extinction in the first place. Only this can rupture. Only this time rupture can rectify the flow of time. Also means they can't wait distance because their sense of value doesn't exist too. You should reject any claims that they also time travel mimics and co-opting my existence. Skip now the case. Vote negative on presumption 1. Nothing spills over. There's no connection between the ballot and changing people's attitudes. No. 2. No warrant for a ballot about the competitive nature of debate. Co-ops any ethical value of advocating. The voting rounds only makes it look like they just want to win, which proves framework can mean advocating by losing is more effective. 3. Debate. None of their evidence is specific to it. Set a high threshold for solvency and ignores how communicative norms operate. Next. Postmodernism has been co-opted by Trump to the right. This demonstrates the weakness of their method. Hujali 18. The Americans are discarding the truth is a descendant of the postmodern movement. Trump's particles to ignore the truth. Postmodernism interpreted that there was no noble truth. That's how the US got anti-vaxxers, climate change desires, conspiracy theorists, and the ability to get away with alternative facts. And debates over foreign policy and politics are valuable and calculate and informed citizenry that can check back against the government. King 15. International cooperation, diplomacy, and security deepen on an American citizenry trained in transnational studies, global ethics, and IR. Could I IR?
All right, good.
Yeah.
All right. What did you not read? Did you read the 8 and 9?
I didn't read 8 and 9 on the paradoxes. I didn't read Skep.
Okay.
I think I cut the Bugard evidence on time travel at Einstein, like Einstein's special relativity.
All right. Who's Einstein?
Einstein's he's a scientist.
What's his theory of relativity? Can you state it? The principles?
Well, I'm not sure like the exact principles of the special relativity theory, but the theory confirms that time travel is real because like his theory was about like wormholes and shit. So.
Okay. What if I'm from the year 2051?
You're not.
Wait, how do you know? Because I'm also built different.
No, you're not built different.
Why?
Just trust me.
Oh, okay. That's fair. I guess did you read the King and Had Julie evidence?
Yeah, but I cut the King evidence at IR.
At IR, cool. Okay. The CapK, can you explain the link?
Yeah, so the 1EC is a form of like a fragmented knowledge. Obviously, like the 1EC is just like a form of like a radical mimicry, but that isn't like an organized form of revolution. It's not an organized form of like accountability, and we think that only the alternative, like the Communist Party, can provide formal organization.
All right. Why is the Communist Party good?
Because we actually have to like take up arms to abolish the EIF, which you say is bad.
You have to take up arms to abolish EIF. Okay, what are arms, like weapons?
Yeah, like weapons, like physical revolt against the system.
Okay. That makes sense, I guess. I guess in the future, in 2050, what happens to EIF?
EIF? I'm not actually sure. That's like the least of my concerns. I'm more concerned about stopping the world from going extinct.
Okay. I guess how does voting neg solve the world from going to extinct?
Because I've seen it like firsthand, like Elon Musk and his super species, they're
Wait,
monitoring.
but how are you alive then?
Yeah,
If you've
because
seen extinction firsthand.
I time traveled back in the past before they could kill me. But I can assure you, they're going to cause like extinction if the judges don't vote affirmative or don't vote negative.
In the future, did Elon Musk join EIF?
I'm not sure. I don't think.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. All right. I'll take a little bit of prep. Actually, I'll start now. Let me send the doc.
No, Theo, I think you need some prep.
Okay, never mind.
Trust me.
I'll take
Trust
prep.
Okay.
Wait, to clarify, did you read King?
I cut it at IR.
Okay. Cool. All right, I'll send the doc then. Let me send the doc. I think it's just 2 cards. Or it's like a screenshot and a definition. And then let me open up my laptop. Wait, where's my laptop? All right, cool. The order is gonna go case, and then the disclosure, and then the order of the off. Let me just make sure I'm good. All right, is anyone not good? All right, cool. Vote after reject EIF can see the Paula evidence that implosion through rejection of a system like the EIF is uniquely key. Presumption is wrong. Inserted is a screenshot about how people are literally talking about this round right now and think it's a good idea. A conceded example is that this round will be posted on YouTube, so you know spillover. How Julia is wrong is about Trump power, where in specific critique over EAF, which is not what the card is in. King was caught too early before warrant. Now dropping the Lee evidence from the 1AC takes out all one, the first, second, and third off because fairness is bad and it's a model of capitalism because it always wants you to adhere to a certain structure. Now, verse, disclosure, counter interpretation. I not disclosed 30 minutes before the app is new. There's a co-option DA. They are in the AF, so they would steal the app and to frame out all of their offense. Now, second, Fortnite theory, counter interpretation must not discuss benefits from a Fortnite. And Fortnite, the one he conceded the serious game he's sad, which is the host evidence talking about Fortnite is bad and causes us to love war, which makes which impacts all of their violence because it makes us want war more and more, which causes death. Now, which is worse than like our movement. Spec a priori don't have to spec a priori classified lead. Fairness is bad. Norming over certain things is bad, especially when they're in the context of things that EIF members want because it allows them to co-opt whatever they want. The app, the whole entire point of the app is to be radical. So forcing it to spec holds us down and makes the app fail. And now next off, the counterplay. No, we do not win. We need to win in order to have members we need to win in order to have members of EIF vote against themselves, i.e. the judges are all in EIF. Now, truth testing. One, if they win their arguments are validated based on whether half is true or not, just a resolution A, truth does not exist in the vacuum and a validating syllogism because of one degree syllogism is wrong. The conclusion, the entire thing is bad, being still better. Epistemology too, and the normative is not matter, things to be intrinsically wrong. Now, constitutionalism is wrong, one accessibility comes before because it's impossible to no impact the constitutionalism, especially because people vote on Nazi stuff all the time. 3, no internal link forward to being a rule. Now, presumption permissibility votes F, 1 paralysis, otherwise we would not be able to justify moral neurals. 2, trivialism, statements like are proven true and false. By switching my name, you believe me. 3, for me, it's hard to 7, 4, 6, non means whenever time space harder. For negation theory, negating requires the complete absence of existence. Now the paradox is we're not a whole res ab, so it takes out points 1 through 4. 5 is wrong because you don't have to be completely open just to think it's better. 6 is wrong. It's not a meta level question because people can use past examples, and 7 is wrong because we do not have an alt statement in the app. Capitalism. One frame issue, Bourdieu wrote his literature and updated Marx saves the content of the 21st century of consumption, overturning labor, capitalism, and enter the semiotics, think about liberation. So, white teacher performers always know about today, but did not buy products made by symbols, images, etc. That turns the entire K. 2 independent theory models. 1 external critique. 8 we're in the era of anomalies or the consequences. Protesting not turn into generalized rebellions because physical production capacities are no longer determined power. The K is the blip on the radar for the hyperreal. B imaginary VA capitalism operates to the production of science. In reality, every revolution becomes an image of itself, which is through opposition. Think about how the PLM has been located as a hate group. See, speed elitism. They are like the Ali Mashali who polished a doctorate thesis on Marxism, which is only co-opted and shipped by Tony Blair, used it to justify invention. Now, 4 conceded that the demand exclusivity between movements is artificial and cooperative movements work best, which is 5 permanently both. All the links are to the status quo, not to the app. 6 permanently both. What is he policy is asthmatical mimicry, stunticism as it cannot respond to its own offense. So 7 permanently the combination of both materialistic and semiotic analysis, which best combats the level. So now the alternative the alternative fails because it does not address EIF on its own. It addresses larger superstructures, but you know that infiltration of a system is good because disrupting EIF should come first in this debate because you know they hurt small schools. You know, still 1 perm the both the voters in the consumption victory, 2 perm the after the counter plan, 3 sovereignty deficit probably indicates that only through memory can we disrupt the space. 4 the ballot is key. Our rounds allow us to disrupt memory, which is done above. Time travel. I'm from a later future. I'm from 2051. I know that I won. Also vote for me now because it does not matter if they're in the future. They cannot tell if they won this round 3. You should air heavily in the app on this argument because they are part of EIF. So you know that they're lying to you for being in the future because they just want their own system to do well.
Okay, I'll take 4 minutes starting now. Okay, that's time. Order will be the cap K.
All right, I'm good.
Okay. Going for the cap K, top level on the K is that you should vote negative if we want a better method of imploding the EIF in a model that can actually create structural change. The thesis of the affirmative relies on the fact that we can symbolically rupture the EIF, but the alternative will be able to do it better. Extend the Escalante evidence that the alternative is a formation of the Communist Party. Image strategies can only go so far, but material strategies like the alternative can solve. They allow us to create movements that can spill over through protests in small schools. No, blueprint is a feature, not a bug. It's better to subject details to democratic contestation and collective decisions, which answers the argument in the 1 ER. It's better to the clear plans of the bourgeoisie are more impractical at digging ourselves out of the hole of overshoot. You can see specific words in the Escalante evidence that these Communist Party that only discipline and formal organization drives productive tendencies, provides accountability, and synthesizes fragment struggle, which is necessary to abolish the EIF. The Communist Party will be able to provide resources to the people and gather the masses in order to revolt against the capital system, which you have conceded causes climate change and existential catastrophe in the short term. Extend the impact that capitalism is unsustainable. Concede the impact in the Escalante evidence that growth caused by rifts in planetary boundaries, ocean acidification, destruction of nitrogen and phosphorus cycles, and disappearance of forests, which are all results of capitalism, all independently possessing the ability to pop the carbon bubble and lock in climate change by overshooting tipping points, which you have conceded that capitalism makes inevitable because capitalism relies on resource extraction in order for financialization to occur, which proves that capitalism cannot be unlinked from things like climate change, which is a conceded impact coming out of the 1 year, which should frame your decision now. I will do the link debate here. They have conceded that his Hester evidence that indicates that talk about a single issue, i.e., why the EIF is bad, doesn't work because it ignores larger structure of the world. Instead, you should reject localized moves that attempt to crowd out real change, advocating for larger movement instead. Here is the distinction. I'll make that very clear here. The K is a form of imploding the EIF. However, you should ask yourself what it does outside of that. We have provided a better strategy as to how we can actually take up arms and fight the EIF, which proves that it's a better material strategy that can actually implode implode the system, which means that even if you are right about in the 1AR about the symbolic exchange stuff, that also applies to you because the app will just be posted on YouTube, and your symbolic strategy will always be overcome by capitalism. You have proven that you yourself said in the 1AR that the round will be posted on YouTube and will be talked about on Discord, which means that your thesis in the 1AR takes out your own argument, but it doesn't take out ours because the material strategies cannot be stopped by being put on the media or YouTube. However, your symbolic strategy will be co-opted by the system because people will constantly talk about it, and your strategy of symbolic implosion will never actually defeat the system. However, the distinction is that the alternative gathers the masses and actually goes against the system itself, which means that people literally take up arms and literally revolt against the state, which is able to take down the AIF, which a symbolic implosion cannot do. I will do the line like here. The first argument is the external critique, the external critiques DA, but you conceded that it's not an actual critique of the system. You can still fight against the system. Still fight against the system. Think about every revolution in the past that has worked. For example, Maoism and the Russian Revolution, which proves that revolutions are successful. The 1AR was a lot of really cool words, but did not do any actual. They did not actually do any work on the solvency level. Then the next argument is the fact that that Beaujard and the Beaujard thesis that semiotics takes out revolution, but obviously this is not contextual to our argument on Escalante because the negative gets to fiat the fact that we can take up arms and go against a system, which means that it obviously doesn't solve the next argument. The next argument is the perm, but we are winning. The next argument is perm, but obviously perms are incoherent when we are winning a link as to why you make the system capitalism worse. The next argument was the fact that Marxism gets co-opted, but across by the analysis here, your movement will always get co-opted as well because yes, you read this really cool app, but you're always going to get co-opted. Your affirmative is always going to get co-opted because people will just talk about it and not actually do anything about it. Which means that at the end of the round, if you think that the affirmative doesn't do anything, they just vote negative because the affirmative really doesn't do anything. Like they just call out the EIF and how bad it is, but they don't actually do anything to implode it from the inside, which proves that the EIF will always stay intact. However, it cannot stay intact after we take up arms and go against and revolt against the EIF, which materially breaks down the systems of the EIF. Look, the debate is very simple. If you think the negative has a better method of imploding the EIF and revolting against it, then vote negative because the affirmative will always be co-opted.
All right, I have 330. All right. I have to share 2 screenshots. All right. Anyone not good? Cool. All right. My camera. Vote AF to reject EIF. Conceded uniqueness flows AF. They conceded EIF hurt small schools by stealing their prep. Only having EIF members vote against the system is key. 2 screenshots you should look at first. From Tyreek. He says EIF sucks. Implode EIF. This proves solvency because you know that people did not like EIF from the AF. Now, second, rules in EIF state that you must take them seriously and it has to be conventional, or it can be a little bit unconventional, but they do not. But you know that talking about EIF would explicitly go against rules that EIF puts in place. So you know that we are a good strategy to specifically against it. Now, Cap will be here. Conceding perm to both to frame this battle, you know that the AF and alternative are compatible because the rejection of EIF is the same exact strategy that the alternative puts in place. They just have to win the no link, which I'll do here first. The link is wrong. First, consider a warrant that small movements are key because they create spillover that the state cannot drop, and it's something that the alternative would exactly want because Escalante specifically states that you should have small movements of integrating anti-capitalist rhetoric within capitalism, which is exactly what the AF does because we were able to tell people that capitalist organizations like EIF are uniquely bad and that we should do something against it. They should frame out the entirety of the ballot because they've not given you any competition between these two resources. They've just read an overview about the link, but no interaction between how us reading EAF is uniquely bad, if any. But we have proven that we are a good strategy that is compatible with the alternative because we have screenshots of people that advocate for EAF being bad, which is how you know that our strategies are working. Now, second, if you not buy the perm, you can also buy the framing debate. You know that capitalism has entered new ages of capitalism has entered a new age from science and semiotics. Bojar specifically indicts capitalism and says that it is now about science. They've dropped their examples how a t-shirt is now worth $400 because it is different. You say that is not about you. Your only answer to this is that your cars are not in the context of this, but of course they are because they're about capitalism. And our argument is that you cannot solve capitalism through material movements specific solely because you know that capitalism will always co-opt them because capitalism is able to co-opt these systems. Conceding this argument means that you should vote affirmative because you know that the material strategy will fail absent either the permutation or the alternative. Now, lastly, you've conceded that the demand for exclusivity between movements is artificial when cooperative strategies work best. This is a form level argument for the perm that avoids any content distinction between our arguments, which is the Hof 7 card that we have extended and you have dropped, which proves for the perm because they've not proven any mutual exclusivity between them. Even if you do not buy this, they've dropped perm deal both in a competition of material and semiotic analysis allows us to attack capitalism best at the level of the material strategy and the superstructure, which means our strategy can attack capitalism at a form level, while the material strategy is the content level, which is the best strategy because it involves both methods. You have dropped all of the perm, so you know that you should vote affirmative here because you know that EAF is a bad organization and that only the app is able to stop it.
Good debate. Thank you all for judging.
Good debate.